Thank you all for joining Rudy and me. We are studying the book of Genesis, and I am eating probably the best vanilla ice cream cone I've had in a long time. So yeah, right here. We may have to do all of our videos over here, Rudy.
Okay.
We're in Miami Ice, and there's a passage in Genesis 14 that is really tough, full of very difficult words, and I'm going to eat and put Rudy to work. He also understands this better than I could ever imagine, so go for it, Rudy.
Well, starting in verse 1 in chapter 14 of Genesis, in the days of Amphrael, king of Shinar, Arnach, king of Elazar, Cheldamor, king of Elam, and Tidal, king of Goyim, these kings made war with Berah, king of Sodom, Birashah, king of Gomorrah, Shibna, king of Admah, Shembeer, king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, that is Zoar, and all these joined forces in the valley of Siddim, that is the Salt Sea. 12 years they had served Ched Olamar, but in the 13th year they rebelled. In the 14th year, Ched Olamar and the kings who were with him came and defeated the Rephaim, which are giants, in the Asheroth Karim, the Zezumim, who are also giants, in Ham, the Emim, also giants, in Sheva Kinathaim, and the Horites in the hill country of Seir, as far as El Paran, on the border of the wilderness. Now, these are 4 kings, and they're all from Shem's descendancy. They live in the northern part of northern countries above where Israel is today, where Abraham's family actually came from, the Earl of Chaldea.
Right.
And they have come down. They had the kings of the plain. We know that it was fought in this valley, and it's called Shittim, and it's the valley of the Salt Sea, which is the Dead Sea. Okay. So you can kind of place where Sodom and Gomorrah and Zeboim are at.
Okay.
They're in this part of the country, and because they had stopped sending tribute, these kings came and just took all their stuff.
Okay.
And then we pick it back up in verse 8, and then the king of Sodom, the king of Gomorrah, the king of Admah, the king of Zoam, the king of Bela went out, and they joined battle in the valley of Siddim with Chedolamar, king of Elam, Tidal, king of Goyim, Amphrael, king of Shinar, Aroch, king of Elazar, and 4 kings against 5. Now the valley of Shittim was full of bitumen pits, and as the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled, some fell into them, and the rest of them fled to the hill country. So they get defeated by these 4 kings, of which there are 5 kings.
Mm-hmm.
And they also, and then the 5 kings in verse 12 says, they also took Lot, the son of Abram's brother, who was dwelling in Sodom, and his possessions, and they all went away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So after the battle is over, it gets picked up that somebody comes and tell Abraham what's going on.
Right.
And in verse 13, then one who had escaped came and told Abraham the Hebrew, which is the first time that the word Hebrew is used in association with anybody.
What Hebrew means?
Worshipper of God, who was living by the oaks of Mamre, the Amorite. Oaks of Mamre is basically where we were told about that, where Ai and Bethel were close to the oaks of Mamre. So he's still kind of in that same area of Israel today. And they told Abraham, who was living by the oaks of Mamre, that the Amorite, we know that Mamre is of the family of Amorite.
Mm-hmm.
They were allies of Abraham. When Abraham heard that his kinsman had been taken captive, he led forth his trained men, both in his house born in his house, 318 of them, and went in pursuit as far north as Dan, which is in the northern part of Israel today.
Right.
And he divided his forces against them by night, he and his servants, and defeated them and pursued them to Hobath, north of Damascus. Then he brought back all the possessions, and also brought back his kinsman Lot with his possessions, and the women and the people.
Yeah.
So what we see here is all the kings of the north, which is not all the families of Shem, but they are families of Shem, have come down and defeated some of Ham's family. Ham's other part of his family was in northern Africa. But the fact is that these kings defeated giants and these other people in the plains. Abraham's got 318 people, and he defeats them and takes back everything that they had taken.
Right. So, first of all, it was a mistake for me to try to eat this while you're talking, because I have it all over my face. I needed a towel.
You don't.
But second, by the way, it's really good. But second, 318 is an interesting number. So tell us, 318.
318 for me is like sometimes when numbers don't make any sense, you have to separate them. And for me, 3 is God's number, and 18 is life.
Right.
Because, you see on people's neck, the necklace, it has a kind of a rectangle with a small slash next to it. You pronounce it Chai, but the numerical value of Chai is 18. So it's God's life.
There you go.
But then you have another really interesting.
It's interesting. Eliezer, we're going to meet him tomorrow. Eliezer, if you put Hebrew numerology for Eliezer, he's 318. That's Abraham's servant. But also, if you take all the prime numbers and you add them, they're 318. Wow. That's God doesn't make mistakes. Another thought of this, and I really appreciate you. The ice cream was great, and your commentary is really good likewise. One of the things we learned about Abraham is God said, I'm going to bless those who bless you. I'm going to curse those who curse you. That's Genesis chapter 12, verses 1 through 3. This is an outworking of that. This is a curse on Abraham through the attack of Lot. And so we now see the blessing of Abraham, that he goes out and God gives him the power to defeat these giants and kings, and with 318 men to win a victory that probably put the fear of the Lord in the whole area.
I would think so.
When we talk about the day of the Lord, and that's a later concept in the Old Testament. The day of the Lord is when God deals with people. He enters in and he deals with people. This was the day of the Lord.
It was, and it looks like that because the day of the Lord has these armies that surround Jerusalem, and there was no way out, but he made the way.
Yeah.
And basically it's the same thing with Abraham. 318 men, and it's very specific. Moses is writing this with the inspiration of God that there's going to be 318 men.
Right.
But also, they were all born in his house.
Yeah.
These weren't mighty men from someplace else.
No, that's it. Well, with that being said, great ice cream. Miami Ice opens at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm probably the only customer today because it's snowing outside.
Yeah.
And I just got a good ice cream cone. Pray for us, Rudy.
I will. Father, help us to understand the story in the depth that you would like us to.
Mm-hmm.
Lord, there's some times that you have us fight battles.
Yep.
And there's times where we have to stand back and let you win for us.
Yep.
Help us know the difference, Father.
Mm-hmm.
In Jesus' name.
That's right. Amen.
Amen.
God bless you. Thank you all so much. And you have a great day, Rudy. Thank you, sir. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a great day.